What's up, guys? I'm BTC. Echo is finally available on the live version of the game for PC and all the different consoles. She is a little bit weaker than what we saw initially on the PTR. The stickies have been nerfed, as well as some of the ultimate charge generation and that sort of stuff. So she's a little bit weaker than she was on the PTR, but still going to be a pretty solid character, I believe. Now, in addition to releasing the character, they're also having kind of a little bit of a mini event. It's not like a full mini event like you would normally have, but what they're doing is from now until April 20th, if you have your Battle.net or your console account connected to Twitch and you watch any of the Overwatch live streams, then you can get a bunch of extra rewards. So it's going to be a whole bunch of sprays. You can see when you watch 2 hours, you get 1 spray. 4 hours, you get 2 more sprays. And then at 6 hours, you get 3 sprays. I particularly like the last one because it's the Spider-Man meme, which is pretty funny. So you can get all of these different sprays by watching Twitch streams. And this isn't any specific stream. Like, it's not like a list of different streamers that you have to watch. This is any Overwatch live stream on Twitch. You'll be able to get these extra items. There's also a brand new competitive mode that has been added to the game. This is found in the arcade, and it's called the Competitive Open Queue. It's going to be available for the next 4 weeks, and this mode will use the standard competitive play rules, which includes the hero pools, but there is no role restrictions or role queues. So this is kind of like Quick Play Classic, right? Where you can just play whatever you want. It's competitive classic, basically. You can see here, you've got, all this normal stuff, but there's no role limits. Now, I think that this is actually going to help quite a bit with the normal competitive ladder, because what's going to happen, I think, is you're probably going to have a whole bunch of DPS players that don't want to wait 10, 15, 20 minutes for a normal queue, and they're going to be playing this, the open queue, which means that they're going to get a game much faster, but at the same time, the normal queue time for the competitive ladder is going to go down because there's just less people that are trying to queue up as DPS. So this might actually reduce the queue time for just the normal one as well. And I'm not certain if this is something that Blizzard is looking to make a permanent thing. Obviously, we have the permanent Quick Play Classic, but are they going to have the permanent competitive open queue? I think it's going to largely depend on how popular this is, how many people are playing it, and maybe if Blizzard sees a noticeable amount of people wanting to play this, and at the same time seeing a reduction in the queue time on the normal competitive queue time, then they might end up making this a permanent mode. Again, purely my own speculation on that, but we'll have to see. Now, for this mode, you still get some of the competitive points, but it looks, I believe this is lower than what you would normally get. I know they changed it because of the role queue stuff, but you still get a pretty good amount of competitive points towards the end of the season if you're playing this. There's also been a change to the training room. Now, unfortunately, this isn't an entire redo like I think they probably should have, but what it does is it adds this little area over here, and you can see there is now an enemy Symmetra, and you can change it to whatever you want. If you want to have a Mei, if you want to have a Roadhog, whatever you want. This is now going to create that character. One of the reasons, probably the main reason why they added this, was in order for Echo to actually use her ultimate in the training area, because otherwise you just wouldn't be able to activate your ultimate at all. But now that you have this, you can then target the enemy, and you're able to... Look at how fast you get ultimate on this, though. But this is now there, and again, you can just interact with... Oh, I can't interact with it while I'm duplicated. Okay, now I can. There you go. You can change it to whatever you want. And primarily this is for Echo, but I'm sure you can use it for other stuff as well. It would be nice if they just completely redid the entire training area and gave us a much better thing to practice with aim and abilities and mobility and all that other sort of stuff. But that's not happening anytime soon. Maybe if we're lucky, we'll get it with Overwatch 2. But for now, this is what we got. There is one other thing to mention, and I talked about this in a video the other day. A bunch of teasers were happening on the official Blizzard Arabic account on Twitter, and this was hinting at something. I thought it might have been just something kind of hinting at Echo being released, but apparently there are now Middle East servers for Overwatch. So if you live in that part of the world, you should be connecting to those new servers, and it should give you a much better connection. And that is everything in the patch today. I am going to be working on an Echo versus all the other hero video to give you an idea of who she's good against and which other characters are going to counter her. Hopefully that should be released pretty soon. But what do you guys think of Echo? And also, don't forget to go and get your free stuff over on Twitch. Thanks for watching, and if you'd like to see more, make sure you subscribe and hit that bell to get notified. You can get some cool gear, join my Discord server, or follow me on social media with the links down in the description below. Special thanks to my Patreon supporters, and remember, always blame the controller because it's never your fault.